My name is Michael Otieno Molina. I graduated from Xavier University of Louisiana in 1997. And among other things, I am diligent, productive, efficient, proficient, prolific, terrific, resistant to negative thinking, intelligent, reverent, better than ever, benevolent, evanescent, gold, bold, soul, dope, live, wise, creative, elated, and down to earth, blessed from birth, certainly worth your time, fine, divine, and smooth, true to my roots, a hustler, a tussler, a rider, a fighter, full of integrity, generativity, fighting tenacity, constantly asking the right questions. Who am I, and what am I here to do? Who am I and what am I here to do? Those are the two questions you posed. Do you have a purpose? Why are you here and what are you up to? Who am I and what am I here to do? I am are the two most powerful words in the English language because whatever comes after those words, your mind and your spirit try to prove. If you say, I am beautiful, you're going to look at your face and see beauty. If you say, I am not beautiful, you could have the same face and look at your face and find every little cut and scratch or whatever you think might not be beautiful. Those are the two most powerful words in the English language. And when we talk a safe space, I am able to stand in front of you as a Xavier grad, as a Yale Law School grad, and tell you for sure I am very confident in who I am because of my family. And Xavier University is a part of my family. We have community cultural wealth is the term that the film used. I'm just going to crystallize that into one word and call it family. Family. And I got a piece I wrote specifically for this night. And I love assignments. And I never written a piece about my HBCU experience. And this assignment gave me the opportunity to. So I thank you all for giving me that assignment. And so this is HBCU stands for family. It was Nashville, Tennessee, 1960. The Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, an integrated group of black and white college students, stood up with a sit-in at a so-called whites-only restaurant counter. They protested segregation in the spirit of unity and liberation. They were like family. And the Congress of Racial Equality, CORE, backed them through a local boycott. And the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC, and all the church pillars of black communities joined them in saying, let's get them free to pay their bail and legal fees, just like you would expect from family. And before you knew it, the NAACP called for a national boycott. It was like one big family coming together to fight the good fight, coming together in common struggle to assert their rights to be full participants in the American family, to upend the Jim Crow system of disrespect and disempowerment by ending the daily indignities like anyone would do for their family. Yes. And for the first 2 weeks of those sit-ins, it was all quiet and there was no trouble. But there was a palpable fear of the threat of violent unrest, so the students of SNCC stood in the storm of that fear, dressed in their Sunday best, and studied. They fought racism with demonstrations of their personal aspirations and self-worth. They sat at those counters, and guess what they did? Homework. They were Fisk University students after all. And Fisk is an HBCU. So you best to believe that you have to do what you have to do, even if that includes doing your homework at a protest. HBCUs raise the shoulders you stand on, so you have to do your best. Just like one of Fisk University's most storied alumni, W.E.B. Du Bois, who attended a century before, after 4 churches of Great Barrington, Massachusetts, each gave $25 to ensure that he could attend. Du Bois attended. And when he witnessed the spirit, the brilliance, the limitlessness of his peers at Fisk, he wrote his pastor this: I can hardly realize they are all my people, that this great assembly of youth and intelligence are representatives of a race which 20 years ago was in bondage. In 1866, 1 year after having been a race enslaved, black folks were in college leaving W.E.B. Du Bois amazed. and went on. And Du Bois went on to be the first African American to earn a PhD from Harvard, and went on to lead the NAACP to push black folks farther. Now, I know you know the civil rights revolutionary Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, and now you know because of earlier, he was a Morehouse class of what?
1948.
1948. Thank you, sir. And I know that you know the billionaire Oprah Winfrey went to where? Tennessee State. Stole some of my thunder, but that's all good. Well, now you know that the civil rights movement was sparked by students, HBCU students, by organized and active black students from Fisk University and Howard, from Spelman to Morgan State. HBCU students were powerful as they stood in the face of hate, with their white allies and mates together as one expanded family. HBCU students stood in that storm by sitting in and took hold of the civil rights movement. HBCU students strengthened America by making it have integrity with its Constitution. HBCU students that transformed this country through a brilliantly organized, ingeniously strategized, peacefully powerful revolution that inspired justice across the planet for every successive generation, for those who would follow them as progeny, their future human family. And that's what HBCUs have meant to the world. That's what HBCUs have meant to America. But I'm going to tell you what HBCU has meant to me. My alma mater, Xavier University of Louisiana, felt like family. Xavier felt like home. A home where I knew I would be loved. A home where I knew I would be known. A home where I knew I would be pushed towards success. A home where I knew that once I took my first college step, I would be immersed in the gorgeous diversity of blackness. Let me just tell you about the accents. The Atlanta Shout and the Chicago Joes. The New Orleans Babies and the LA Locs. We sported different clothes, spit different lingos, ate different foods, played spades by different rules, but we all learned how to play.
That's right. That's right.
Some dudes didn't dance like we did in New Orleans. And in the beginning, they had a whole lot to say, talked a lot of mess. But before they left, every one of them knew how to at least two-step. It was like a family reunion with your pretty boy cousin and his bougie girlfriend, and your dirty friends who became a couple, with your wild big brother who protected his little sister with them knuckles, and your young professional kin who you knew would make it big, and all the divine nine who shined every time they stepped a new line. It was like family. I remember seeing this one grown woman walking around campus. She was more than twice my age. She came back to Xavier to keep moving forward, and we were on the same page, so every time we saw each other, we would smile and take a minute to chat for a while, like
Family.
Back in 1997, when I graduated from Xavier University of Louisiana, I graduated with this woman, this wise woman, who had been a single mother of three, who had gotten her master's in education at 53. Here we were, two generations of family graduating together. Me with a BA in English, off to Yale Law School as a young 20-year-old fool, and she, a master teacher going back to serve in New Orleans public schools. Me and this wise woman walked that stage the same year, both so proud we shed tears, so proud of each other because we were family, because I was her son, because she was my mother, literally. I graduated from Xavier with the matriarch of my family. And that can't be topped by any line of poetry. So when I tell you what HBCUs mean, believe me, HBCUs stand for family.